All right, in this video, we are going to be modernizing the B series engine with this digidizzy coil on plug conversion kit for the Integra. Let's get to it. So this is what we're working with here. This is the digidizzy coil on plug conversion kit for the Honda B series, or pretty much any 90s Honda that uses a distributor. This is a fully plug and play kit to my knowledge. You can see it's pretty, this has the end where that goes into the camshaft, and then it has all of these plugs, making it plug and play, and then it has the actual coil plugs, which is super cool. I assume these plug into there. So this kit is from a company called Digidizzy. Okay. There it is. We also have a mounting kit for the coils. It's gonna go there, and it's gonna look super freaking cool and super freaking modern. I am super hyped to no longer have distributor issues with the Integra. For those of you who don't know, distributors are like ancient technology, and they're very problematic for the B series engines. And I've been through 2 of them so far, and it sucks. They tend to die out when you make a lot of power, and I've blown 2 distributors so far, and during my 1,800-mile road trip, this distributor actually failed me. This distributor is no longer working properly, and basically when I was out in the middle of nowhere, like 600 miles from home, I had to go to AutoZone, and I picked up a Duralast one thinking that would fix my issue. It did make the car run a little bit better, but my injector still wasn't working. Anyways, I returned that Duralast distributor because I've spent like almost $500 on it. So I figured, you know what, let me just return that Duralast distributor and then instead put that money towards the digidizzy so we have no more of those issues. This is gonna make the car way more reliable. So let's go ahead and throw it on. Boom, distributor is out. Poopy garbage. And now here is the digidizzy. It doesn't come with any instructions, so I'm just gonna try and figure it out. Aha. And instead of 3 different mounting spots like the stock distributor, this just comes with the 1 top mounting spot, making it work with pretty much every Honda engine that uses a distributor. And this allows us to adjust it, so we will need to probably adjust it, and there is probably a setup sequence, but for now we'll just leave it like that. All right, let's go ahead and install this mounting plate. Not exactly 100% sure how this is supposed to go. Valve cover stud. Then we'll remove this valve cover stud as well. All right, there we go. Cover is installed. Look at these modern Honda stuff, dude. How freaking cool. There we go, mounted up and looking sick. All right, so I ran into my first issue. This digidizzy plug will not fit into my stock harness plug. So by looking at it, this has male ends, and this has female ends. It should fit, but this plug that is with the digidizzy also looks a lot different than the stock plug. See that there are no like walls or anything, so I don't know if I need to modify it or something. But also I noticed this, that on my stock plug, that this whole backing is broken off. So not too sure what I need to do in order to get these two to connect, but I'm gonna mess around with it and see what I can come up with. All right, it was an easy fix. So this white thing was actually in the stock plug. So it actually got stuck, and this is from the original distributor. So I removed that, and now it goes in like nothing. I don't know if I can do this with one hand, but it goes in, so whoa, we're good. Check her out, looking freaking good. So just put it on, and you can see I mounted the ground wire to this bottom hole, and then yeah, everything's plugged in, snugged down, good to go. That literally took like 10 minutes, super easy. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put the engine on top dead center, and after doing it on top dead center, I'm gonna turn the car on, and then we are going to do the calibration sequence just online. So let's go ahead and get this thing in top dead center, and then I'll show you guys how to do that. Okay, so the way that I find top dead center, I tried using the marks on the pulley, but to be honest, those are kind of hard to read. And so what I'm gonna do is literally just drop in an extension. So now once you got that in there, you just spin the crank, and you can see that it goes up as you're spinning. So you know in your top dead center when it goes all the way up before it goes down. Okay, so we're almost there. All right, that's top dead center, because now I just did it a few times and it completely stopped. So you want to crank the pulley counterclockwise, and then once it goes all the way up and then it stops going up, that's how you know you're at top dead center. So put the spark plug and the coil pack back in. We'll turn the car on, we'll just do the ignition on, and then we'll start the calibration sequence. Okay, so what you do is you hold down the home button at the top here, and then you start moving it until the green goes away. So I'm gonna keep moving it, I'm gonna keep moving it. And then green goes away. There we go. So now that should be good, and it should start. Okay, so unfortunately the car is not starting. I got the digidizzy hooked up, everything's ready to go. I set up some of the settings in the 𝐂𝐚𝐸 ECU, and currently the digidizzy, the car, does not want to start. So I actually sent a message to Chris, the guy who makes these kits, and he told me that with the 𝐂𝐚𝐸 ECU, this is the main connector, some of these wires need to be swapped around for to compensate for the link. So he sent me an instruction video on how to do that. So that's what I'm gonna do. Let me show you guys what to do. So basically you have the two black pins that I just depinned. So you just pull those out, and then those two black pins, the one will go where that white is, and then the other one will go where the orange is. The white, the green, and the orange will go at the top three, and then that brown plug will go where that green is. So you're just swapping them around, and then that should be it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. Okay, it's plugged in. Let's see if the car starts now. Yeah, car still isn't starting. Not sure what the problem is, but I'm going to do some more research and see if I can figure it out. Okay, so I just spent a bunch of time talking with Chris from digidizzy, and it turns out I just had some settings wrong on my triggering. So let me show you guys what happens when we try and start the car now. Starts right up. Starts right up, idle's good. Finally. All right, let me show you guys, and it sounds way different when I turn the car off. Before, when I had the car running, or before when I turned the car off, it would like sputter and then it would violently shake. Now, when I turn the car off, it's like super smooth. I don't feel any shaking whatsoever. And there we have it, guys. The digidizzy is plugged in and it is all set up. We had to swap around some of those wires and those are all working fine. So I guess we can just tuck that out of the way now. So I went ahead and did the programming sequence. Everything is all good to go, but I did have to change some of the settings onto the Link ECU. Here are the settings that I changed. So for my trigger 1 setting, I did optical Hall, trigger pull up off, trigger 1 edge rising, and then the rest was default. And then I set my calibration trigger offset, or my reference timing, to 16 instead of the default 10, because when you do the calibration on the actual digidizzy, you're basically setting this to 16 degrees. So then you need to tell the Link ECU to match that. I got my timing light right here. I'm gonna go ahead and check timing. Alright, so using the timing light, we are officially fully timed up on the engine. So I actually was struggling with this a little bit because I found out that I was running back and forth to the laptop and I was adjusting the timing on the laptop, the offset, and I figured out that my cable wasn't actually plugged in. And so all the adjustments that I was making was doing nothing to the engine. And I was getting really frustrated because I was like, dude, what the hell's going on? Nothing's happening. So I adjusted timing, or I plugged in the laptop, I figured it out, I got the timing going, and basically what I was doing, it's really hard to see on camera with like shutter speed and stuff. Anyways, there's a little point down there, and basically what you do is you hold the timing light up to it, the timing light flashes, and then there's like 3 little lines on the pulley. You have to try to line up that point. You have to try and line up that point with the 3 lines that are pulling. So when you adjust the offset numbers in the Link, that's what will kind of change the speed. So with that being said, the digidizzy is fully installed into the car, and let me tell you guys, the car runs so much smoother with that thing installed. Like, I'm telling you guys, when I would turn off the car on my old distributor setup, the entire car would like violently come to a stop. It'd be running, you turn it off, and it'd be like boom, boom. It'd violently come to a stop. But with the digidizzy, when I turn it off, it's like completely silent. It's the weirdest thing. I've had this car for 5 years. I know all of its quirks by now. So big shout out to the digidizzy. Revving it also is just so much smoother. Everything is much smoother. I love it. So I'm gonna go ahead and button this thing up. But that's it, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys learned something, and see you later.